I'm Stephanie,
I'm Meredith.
and welcome to This Is My Circus.
What's up?
Nothing. You?
No, I'm, just
Chilling?
chilling, chatting with my girl here.
Yeah, yeah.
Having some giggles already. That's what we do.
It seems to happen as soon as you walk in.
I know. I feel like we should just because we start recording so we can get our
Bearings.
Yeah, and so we just kind of ease into it. But then some of the funniest stuff we say is before the intro. So sometimes we'll just have to.
And that's why the people are going to want to get the
They
subscription
do want
when
a
we start
subscription.
that process,
Yes,
which is coming soon.
coming soon.
I think it'd be really cool to have it ready for our spooky month.
That would be great, and I'm so excited for our spooky month. You have come up with some of the cutest ideas,
Yes.
and I'm working on our books.
Mhm.
Do we want to give the people a little touch of what it's going to be?
I think so.
Okay, go
Yeah.
for it.
So I was thinking that we would do every week in October a different theme, like a spooky theme. So
Yep.
like one week would be like vampires, and one week would be like witches or cults. And then our big week.
Drum roll.
Oh, wait, what else did I say?
Vampires, ghosts, and witches.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Drum
And then our final, when we get dressed up in our costumes, is our spooky circus.
That was a
That was
spooky
awesome.
circus.
There is a song about,
A spooky circus?
yeah,
Shut up.
yeah.
Cool.
I'll have to find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited for October.
I am too. I'm looking forward to I love getting together and us chatting and doing this, but I think having a little bit more of a structure will help too. And that might be something that we decide we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not necessarily by month, but just to get a little bit more of a plan. Because I am all over the place, as you know.
Same.
Our squirrels are
Yeah, they're like on cocaine.
Yes. Did you ever see the movie that came out a couple years ago, Cocaine Bear? We did too.
But did you see that last summer, or yeah, I think it was last summer, that there was a bunch of drug runners going from Cuba
Yes.
and dropping cocaine in the ocean, and all the sharks
No, I didn't see
were
that. I'm sorry.
ingesting it. And then, so you know how they track the patterns of the sharks for Shark Week and stuff?
Right.
Sharks were going like all over.
I hate that. I don't want any animals to be affected by the stupid stuff that humans do, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, they're tagged, and so their radar was probably just
The drug boats, though. I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
there was police or something in the ocean, like
Oh,
spotted them, and so they threw stuff
Oh.
overboard.
I can't believe that the sharks would eat that.
I-
Maybe
you
it was,
have a choice. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe
Like,
it was
you're
human
just swimming.
sentient, and it got in your way, and I don't know.
Well, I mean, if like you just go through like a big puff, like
Oh, that's true. A puff.
so me in my head, I'm
Okay.
picturing like it goes in and hits the bottom and it explodes, and the
Okay.
sharks are like, "Shoo."
Okay, I am picturing like an old-timey, not even old-timey, but like from a cartoon wooden crate that like the Roadrunner would push off.
Or like they just thought it was like food, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if they were in a bundle
Yeah.
and they just bit into it, you know?
If we have any cocaine runners, let us know how, allegedly. You can be anonymous.
Well, I just saw a truck going from Mexico to the States. It was like one of the big tractor trailer trucks.
Yeah,
That was
18-wheeler kind of thing.
yeah, that was bringing watermelons into
Mhm.
the country. Well, they had, I think, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like a ton of fentanyl that was bundled up
Oh,
and then wrapped to make it look like a watermelon. And it was like mixed into the watermelons.
Get that stuff out of here.
But it was in like a bundle,
Yeah.
and then they wrapped it up.
I'm glad they found it.
But then they showed pictures of the wrapped watermelon, and it was such a
Was it?
bad job.
I wonder how that got caught too. I guess going through one of the way station scanners, I guess, or something.
I don't know.
If you're a way station guy, call us and let us know. Call us. Call in 1-800.
We can start doing our own War of the Roses.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad. Fentanyl, that's a dirty
Yeah,
drug.
but it was, I mean, a ton.
Yeah.
That was street value,
Mhm.
whatever the street value. It was insane
Yeah,
what was in that truck.
yeah. Let's keep that out of here. Take that back.
Yes, please.
No good here.
Mm-mm.
So, I don't know if I told you, I know you saw my Facebook post, but Jackson finally got his permit
Yes.
after I had talked all that smack
Mhm.
on him getting it. And it was so funny. There was some other people there that we knew too, because we went that Tuesday after Labor Day where they were supposed to be out of school, but they just had e-learning. So Gabriel, which we talked about his siblings last week, he was in there too. And then some other kids that they knew. So Jackson was the first one in line though, and he came out and like, yeah, we were all so excited. I did not let him drive home from the DMV though. Did you let Dylan drive home like right from the DMV?
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't feel like that was the best choice for
Well,
me.
see, I probably shouldn't be saying this. Dylan, I started teaching Dylan how to drive like way before.
Oh yeah, yes. Like church parking lots up and down our dirt road.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That was his birthday, and we went shopping right after.
Okay.
And so no, he did not drive right after because we like were
Yeah.
out and about.
Out and about
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But we did take our fake
yes,
driving.
we did. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we went to the website that's like scdmv dot whatever, and took the official South Carolina driver's test. Now,
It was not the official. It was the test.
it was the
Practice
permit
practice
test.
test. Yes.
Were you in Pennsylvania when you first got your permit or
Yes.
license and stuff? I was in North Carolina, which still, what'd you get?
On the practice test?
Yes.
An 87.
Me too. I got a 60. The first time I took that test, I got a 60. I don't know what happened. I'm probably just a bad driver. I could not believe it.
I really don't feel like those are the questions though that we would have gotten on an actual
No,
test. They were.
I can't even remember what mine were.
I don't either, but they do. I mean, they have like a pool of
Right, 300 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I just got the most basic. What is it? It was what is the shape of a stop sign? Like those are the questions that I
okay.
got. So I think I just got those
Okay.
insanely easy version
Yeah.
of that test.
Well, I took it and got the 60 and was like, what the crap? And Brian was like, well, let me take it. And Brian is one of those people that can drive anything. Like if he got put in an airplane, I have no doubt that he could just drive there. Like he can do, okay, weirdest flex in the world, to be able to back up a trailer or like a jet ski with it on a trailer, but with a truck.
Uh-huh. No, I mean
No. So Brian can do all that kind of stuff. He can drive like a tractor. He can drive like anything this dude could drive. So he's like, let me see what I get. Okay. He got like a 95 or something, like something really high. And I was like, gosh. And his questions were, what sign? I remember one of them was, which sign is a red octagon? Yeah. I remember the one that I missed was, what color is a yield sign? And I was like, oh, it's yellow. It's red. Right. It's red. Because you still are supposed to stop, I guess. So anything to do with stop is red.
I guess. I would have said yellow too.
I just made all that up. So anyway.
I would have said yellow.
Yeah.
I would have gotten that one wrong too.
Well,
I don't pay attention enough.
No.
Squirrel.
Right. Right. And I think it's just one of the things where we see it so much, don't really think about it anymore. But
I'm lucky if I remember how I got somewhere. Like I just don't
do
know.
you do that though?
do.
Do you, or you go through, I do too, you go through a stoplight and you're like, crap, that was green, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I look up and see the car behind me going. And I think so much of it is just habit or just autopilot. Out of body experience. Have you ever had an out of body experience?
Probably like when I was partying.
Well,
I don't know.
I remember, I don't even.
I did a lot of stupid stuff in my life.
Well, I mean, so we were somewhere and I felt like I like raised up and was looking down at what was going on. And it wasn't even like I was having surgery or anything like that. It was like we were at church or something. And it's like I felt like I was like taking in everything, including myself, from a different perspective.
What were what did you ingest before?
Nothing. It was crazy though. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
I'll have to tell you a story after we're
Well,
done.
no, just
I
edit
can't.
it.
My mom. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to cut this out.
Beep.
We're back. No,
Yeah. Did you read our book?
I did.
Well, you read it
I-
up before.
Mhm.
Okay, so this was All the Little Liars by Victoria Selman.
Yes. Told across 2 timelines and tapping into a horrific crime, All the Little Liars is a gripping novel about toxic friendships, the ripple effect of murder, and sisterly love that asks, how much would you sacrifice to belong? California, 2003. Finn Kat Jackman is a 10-year-old girl living with her tween sister, father, and beloved housekeeper. When a 13-year-old girl disappears from a party at Turtle Lake and the word liar written in blood is discovered on the trunk of a nearby tree, Kat's life is turned upside down. What we know: three teenagers went to the lake that night, but only two came back. Later, they confessed to murdering their friend, but why? And did they act alone? And what was the involvement of the mysterious and alluring Mason like figure, Ryan Grady? What really happened at Turtle Lake? You think you know, think again.
You think you know, but you have no idea. Okay. I liked this book.
Good.
I
Good.
liked this book a lot. It definitely kept my interest. I know you had said that, it wasn't your favorite, but it kept your
Yeah.
interest. I liked this one a lot.
It was a slow start for me. Once it picked up, I was in.
So these books like this, where there's like a whodunit kind of thing, and you're going back in time, we read a lot of those. So many of these books, they don't tell you what happens until later in the book. I want that sooner.
I do too, but that's like their first twist, like
I
they want to
know,
yeah.
I know, but I want it sooner.
Yeah. So for me, it started a little slow,
Hmm.
but again, I liked the book.
Hmm.
I mean, kept my attention. I was
Yeah.
happy at the end that I read it. I wouldn't read again, but
Right.
I was happy that I read it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I did like the two timelines, and I like how they did the timelines.
Yeah.
It wasn't confusing. It
Right.
was easy to follow.
Right. And they were not so long that you forgot like which time period you were in.
Right.
And they weren't so short that you went back and forth too much.
Right.
I liked those two. The only thing that threw me is with the audiobook, I forgot that they were in London some, and all of a sudden there was an accent, and I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Did I space out and totally forget where I was?" That was the only thing that was, and that was just me being an idiot.
I did
So
appreciate the accent though.
totally. It was very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, I like the two timelines and the way that those were presented as
Yeah.
well.
All right, so we're gonna go into spoilers. So if
Yep.
you haven't read it and you're gonna read it, fast forward. I was a little taken aback at first, finding out that the sister wasn't the murdered one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 'Cause the whole time I'm thinking
The sister
the
got
sister,
murdered.
yeah, and that's why,
I guess I didn't put too much thought into it because I was just so anxious that they're not telling us what's going on.
uh-huh,
But yeah, I could see where that would have been a fun twist too, like the sister.
yeah.
But then as you read some more and you get into like how they're acting,
Well, I thought like the mean girls
yeah,
were gonna murder the sister, and I thought that's where it was going.
right,
So
right,
when it wasn't that,
right.
and
Well,
I thought the dynamic of the girls was so on point
yes,
of typical middle school,
yes,
early high
yes,
school.
100%.
I appreciated that.
A
Like,
100%. Like I could see those girls and I could like see their body language and how they acted. Like the one girl was in the middle because she was like the power girl for a little bit and everybody was kind of deferring to her and mocking her. And then the power struggle of her sister
yeah.
being the it girl. And then she was sitting in the middle and they were kind of trying to imitate how she acted, or the other one was upset that she took her spot. Like I could see that so clearly.
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me like three girls is tough.
Yeah.
Like two girls is fine, but when there's three, it's like somebody's always going to be left out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, we're fine, and
Yeah.
mom was
Always right.
yeah.
I thought as they were saying like somebody else was involved, I thought it was gonna be the dad,
Yes, so
Judge.
too.
And I thought like I don't know. I don't know why. I thought it was gonna be the
I
dad.
thought so too.
I never thought it was
No, I was totally blown away with
yeah.
that. Like totally. But in retrospect, it makes sense because she'd
Mama.
do anything. Yep.
Yeah. What did you think about the cult aspect or like the teacher taking of it? Like that freaked me out.
Freaking creepy.
Yeah.
It was so
Because they didn't tell you
creepy.
at first he was a teacher. Like she found out when she went to school,
Right.
or the little sister.
So even just before that, just hearing how he was in that, like when he was meeting with the girls and skeevy freaking pedophile.
Yeah.
Like terrible. And then, a chapter or whatever later when she sees him at the school and knows that he's a teacher, that just pissed me way off.
Yeah.
Why was he in jail? Do you remember?
He at the end?
Yeah.
Because he lied to a federal officer about taking drugs. And no matter what, lying to a federal agent, in the book they said
Is prison.
is
See, I
prison
missed
time.
that.
But then they somehow connected him to the pedophile stuff. Oh, because his cellmate ratted him out.
Okay, yeah.
He was bragging
Yes.
in there.
And said that they did it for him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, as terrible as that is though, I could really see I don't know if teenage girls are impressionable. I'm sure they are. They just seem so much more mature than I was, but I could see the power of a young male like that.
Yeah. I think though, he chose girls
Yes.
that would be like
Right.
and he had like a whole slew of them.
He did.
And
So he had
there's my other question is how did no other girls come forward?
a good question. Well, Lou was gone, right?
No,
But she just left because of the baby.
Lou? No, she was in trial. She was on trial with,
Right. And she went, oh, yeah, why didn't she say anything?
I guess at the end of the book, she said that she wanted to impress him and she was in love with him. She wasn't
Yeah.
giving him up because she
Yeah.
was in love.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I just thought once somebody says something, like, usually it's,
Like a trickle down effect,
yeah,
like more people come forward. Yeah, I don't know.
Lou is pregnant.
Right.
So, like, how did they not connect the baby to the dude?
Yeah.
I don't know. That
I
part was
saw
like,
that coming though. When she was speaking with the lisp,
uh-huh.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I know who that is.
yeah, yeah.
You can't get one on me.
What did you think of the end that she sat in jail her entire life and didn't even do the deed? The sister.
Right. Wow. I understand her rationale now, like, I'm up for parole,
Yeah.
don't rock the boat. But why? Why would you? But I mean, and because she wanted to impress dude, I get that. But then once you're over that and you're living,
In jail.
no dude's worth that.
No.
No dude is worth that, except for my son. I'd go to jail for my son.
Same. But
For that petty, no.
and then Lou, well, she died in jail, but Lou did the entire thing. I don't know.
And I knew she was pregnant too. Like when she was eating the Snickers.
Hmm.
Did you
I
figure
thought so.
that out
Yeah,
too?
I thought so too, but I
Yeah.
was like, maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too much into it and it's gonna take a
Yeah.
left turn.
Did you have any pregnancy cravings?
Watermelon.
Really? Mine was oranges.
Really? That's funny.
So I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 12 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, I hadn't gained any weight. I
Yeah.
had no other symptoms
Yeah.
other than I couldn't stop eating oranges. And I would buy like the 10-pound bags of oranges, and Brandon would take one, and I would like those are mine.
Right. What are you doing?
I had oranges in my purse.
Yeah.
I mean, like
That's so funny.
I was like obsessed with oranges.
That is funny. Yeah, I craved water. And it worked out good because Jackson was born in July. So
Mhm.
watermelon was everywhere. But I ate several watermelons a week.
Yeah.
And I knew I was pregnant at like 5 weeks
Mhm.
because Brian and I had been trying for so long. And it's like in that moment, like when you're one day late, you're like, ooh, yeah.
I was still getting my cycle. I mean, like I was still,
Oh,
yeah, up until my fourth month.
bodies are so crazy, aren't they?
So I hadn't gained any weight at all. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing. It was just like absolutely nothing other than, and Brandon's like, you are pregnant. And I'm like, I am not. We were not trying.
Yeah.
I was like, I am not. I just had my period. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant.
Right.
And he's like, I bet you anything. He's like, this is weird, the
Yeah.
oranges.
Yeah. Everywhere. Like you're putting them in your pockets and hoarding them from him. That's great. That's great.
And I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So I took a pregnancy test, and it was a shock.
Yeah.
And he wasn't shocked. I was shocked.
Yeah.
So
He was
then
like, told you.
I went to the doctor the next day and
Hmm.
then when they did the ultrasound, there was a whole baby in there. It wasn't like a little speck on
Yeah,
the.
that's pretty far.
It was a whole baby in there, like
That's like
head,
your first through your first trimester.
head, everything. I mean, there was like a body, and I was like,
Whoops. That's so funny.
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like being pregnant?
No, I was sick the entire time I was pregnant. Like vomit. So Jackson was born on a Monday. On Saturday, I can like vividly remember what I was doing. I was getting sick. And he was born that Monday. Like I threw up my entire pregnancy.
Mhm.
Yeah. What about you?
I did not enjoy being pregnant, and I had the easiest pregnancy. I
Yeah.
swear to God, I again didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah. First trimester was great.
But I never had any other than my last month. I had so much like retained so much water.
Yeah.
And then I worked in an office where everybody, it was like just a big giant
Yeah.
place. And you weren't allowed to wear like flip flops. You had to wear like regular,
Yeah.
whatever, not dress shoes. Didn't have to be dress shoes, but business casual. I couldn't get shoes on my feet because my feet were so
Yeah.
swollen. And so I had flip flops on. And like somebody complained to my boss. And my boss, who was super, super nice, was just like, I don't care about it, but you just have to get something from your doctor saying that
Yeah, that it's
Yeah.
required that you do
Mhm.
this. Yeah, I was sick the whole time and I had some breathing, I had like asthma issues. So Jackson was born premature. Jackson was supposed to be born the end of August, but he was born in July.
Mhm.
And because I had all the breathing issues, they had put me on steroids. And I really attribute Jackson being well developed after, because that early he could have had a ton of like lung issues, but
Mhm.
his lungs were fine because of that. But yeah, now my delivery, even though I had some hiccups in it, it was short, simple,
Yeah.
like nothing major. I would deliver 15 more babies, but carry them, no, no.
Well, neither. I had a C-section, so
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure
I was
that
scheduled
sucked.
C-section. I mean, it was like
Because he
pre-scheduled.
was so big, right?
No, he was just positioned funny,
Okay.
but he swallowed so much
Oh
fluid
no.
coming out that I mean, they rushed him to the NICU. He wasn't breathing.
Yeah.
The whole like knowing there's a human in
Did it
there,
freak you
it
out?
freaked me out because he would push his little feet and
Oh
like you
yeah.
see the whole foot and
Oh yeah.
oh, it was like alien.
Yeah.
Like it was like an alien.
Yeah.
It freaked me out.
It really no, that part didn't bother me. And I worked at an office at the time too, at the eye doctor, so I was on my feet all the time.
Hmm.
Like all the time. I worked up until that Friday that he was born that next Monday.
Hmm. All right, well, back to the book.
Where were we?
So the main character went through her entire life and it like totally deterred her whole life,
Mm-hmm.
thinking she was a catalyst for this murder.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine being a grown adult with this whole thing like for your entire life thinking that you caused this murder,
Yeah.
finding out that your sister knew you took the bracelet the entire time
Mm-hmm.
and you just not destroyed your life, but
Oh,
definitely
there.
veered off course.
Yeah. Yeah. The heaviness of that,
Yeah.
I could not imagine. That's a lot. That's a lot. And the fact that she never went back to look to see if the bracelet was still there and the sister had taken it back.
Yeah.
Like where I want to know
When
where the
you
bracelet
moved,
is now.
when you moved, like why didn't you
Right. It's
look?
kind of like they kind of like up in the middle of the night though.
Well, no, she was packing and then that she found out
I know. I know. I know. It made me wonder though, do you think the dad knew that, what was the nanny's name?
I forget.
Do you think he knew she was involved?
Well, they said that at the end she told him.
Look, I'm surprised. What? She told the dad
Yeah.
in that letter that she wrote
No,
her?
no, no, no. Like before that. Well, that's when she told the daughter, but she told the dad like the next day or
Brian came home from work and had me all missing a lot, I think.
yeah.
So she told, what did he say? Tell me all about it.
Well, he was upset because he's a judge and
Yeah.
now he's an accomplice because he knew about it because he can't turn her in because it
So
was a
that's
cover
probably why
up.
they moved too.
Right. And she thought that the sister did it. And that's why
Yeah.
she
Was
shoved her face in the mud.
What did you think about that too? Like her whole thing was, I'll do anything for y'all. Well, if you're gonna do anything, wouldn't you take the fall and not make her go to jail?
Yeah.
That was one thing that they talked about too in the book that I was like, oh, that's interesting. Cause remember how I don't know if I like that name or not. Sometimes I really do, and sometimes I'm like, it's so stupid. But she kind of belittled and like left her plate on the table, and that's so
Called her the help and
right.
yeah,
So, with some of that,
revenge.
yeah.
I think it probably made it easier,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
really do think she was trying to protect because if anybody came before she was actually gone, she would
Hmm.
say that it was the sister.
Yeah.
But not that the sister even did it, but Plum might not have even known that the sister didn't do it.
Right. In that moment, right. Yeah.
I don't know. But she
Um,
did tell, and that's why they moved
yeah.
because the judge then knew. Well, the judge had no, he couldn't do anything because everybody knew his daughter had admitted to
Right.
this murder. But
Right.
that was one of the big reasons that they moved.
Yeah. I promise I read it. I know it sounds like I didn't. I liked the fact that, a lot of times these books, when you find out what happened and you kind of get your resolution, then the book is done. I'm glad they did a little bit of reconciliation
Mhm.
almost, and her getting to see the dad and those kind of things. I like having that little bit of,
Yeah,
what are we gonna do now kind of
yeah.
thing.
And him saying her name
Yeah.
after not speaking for so many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the girl's name? The main character. Izzy was a sister. I can't remember. They didn't say it often.
Cat.
Cat.
Cat was what she changed her name to. I can't remember.
I can't either. What'd you get the book?
I would give it like a 5.5, 6.
Okay. Why not higher?
Because it was just a slow start for me.
Okay.
It didn't bring me in right
Okay.
away.
sometimes it's, even though you read it and
I
you're
liked
okay
it.
with it,
Yeah.
it's still, you see,
Like, yeah.
I'd give it like a 7.
Okay.
I liked this. I really did like this one. Thank
Good.
goodness, because I was starting to think that, like,
We were cursed.
I was starting to think I didn't like reading anymore, and that was going to make me so sad.
Well,
So,
I'm glad I brought you back.
yeah, thanks for looping me back in. So, I have one for us
Okay.
for next time. So then our next book will be Anywhere You Run by Wanda Morris.
Okay.
Looks really good.
I heard the best story this week.
Oh,
And it's not a story, it was like true in
okay.
Florida. And we know that you love gators.
Yes.
This 84-year-old woman.
Okay.
So the headline said, Granny punches gator.
Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh.
That was like the headline. So this woman is 84 years old. She was from North Fort Myers, Florida. And she was walking her little dog like normal. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
her normal thing, but they
Yeah.
got a little bit closer to the pond that's by her place. And she said that all she saw was eyes pop out. And she was like, oh shoot. And she said that it just lunged out and it was super fast. And so she throws her dog up in the air because she was afraid
Yeah.
the gator was going to lunge.
Sure.
Bit her leg and a finger. She didn't bite the finger off, but like bit her fingers and her leg. And she punched the gator in the face, turned around and ran. She said she punched the gator in the face.
Go, Granny. Go, Granny.
Picturing this.
Yes. Like this little frail
So
is what I'm. That gator was a wimp if he couldn't take that punch.
I was probably shocked it. Like,
Probably.
who fights back?
Right.
The granny.
She must know people.
She wanted her dog safe.
Good for her.
Yes. So she said that she is doing fine. She is in the hospital for her, obviously for her wounds,
Yeah.
but she just is very excited to get back to her dog at home.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that she did that.
Yeah. But I thought that was
That's crazy. I saw a video this week of Florida waters, and it's like with sunglasses that are polarized that like cut the glare, and then regular sunglasses. And when you have regular sunglasses and you see it's just like all water, but with the polarized, like you can see the gators in the water, freaked me the beep out. Like there's a lot of gators in those waters.
they're okay from afar.
Mm-hmm.
My brother went hiking with his then girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing whatever in Florida.
Yeah.
And there was a gator. And I'm like 99% sure that he went up and like booped it. And then took off from it. I'm like, how are you still alive?
Was
Like,
this recent?
no,
Oh,
this was
okay.
like
A long
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
he just booked a flight to go to Spain to run with the Bulls next year. I'm like, you are too old to be doing this crap.
I mean, he can watch.
No, he wants to run. And I was like,
People die doing that.
I know.
Does he know this?
Yes, he's 5 years older than I. He's 47. He'll be 48 next year.
I mean, I'm all about making a bucket list and crossing things off, but go to Spain. Period. You don't have to do that.
No, thank you.
Oh my gosh. I would like to go to Spain though.
I'm sure not during that time
No,
though.
no,
No, I don't want to.
no. Oh gosh. Your brother sounds like he's lived his life.
He has had a life, yes. So, like when we first started our podcast, we had talked about extraterrestrial things out west and things in the ocean.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear about the hikers in Colorado
No.
this week? Well, it wasn't this week. The news was this week. So, two women were hiking in Colorado, and they, of course, were taking pictures and whatever while they were doing their thing. And when they got home, they were showing their family on the big TV, like all their photos.
Yeah.
And so it was blown up.
Which, time out. People don't want to be held hostage and see your family photos. Time in.
Don't do that. So it was on the huge TV.
Yeah.
They see this creature scaling the mountain.
Shut up.
Scaling the mountain. So it was like a human, like grayish figure.
Okay.
I mean, you could see its spine, you could see its limbs, and it's like scaling the mountain. So a specialist or whatever looked at the photos and figured however they scale things.
Right.
I don't know.
Sciencey stuff.
Not my forte.
Same.
Said it was around 20 feet tall. It has to be a giant, right? Like,
yeah. If you can see something scaling a mountain and see that detail, yeah.
but let me show you the picture.
Oh my
It's crazy.
That is crazy. I thought you were going to say, a lot of times when people do pictures, you can see like auras in the pictures, or this was a real figure. That is crazy.
Bananas.
Just don't let it bother me and it'll be fine.
You know who doesn't want to go to Colorado?
Glad I've already been.
Know who's not going to the mountains?
Right. That's crazy,
I
though.
know. You can see the whole spine.
Yeah.
And it's long
Like you could
legs.
clearly see the shape.
Yeah.
It's like humanoid. Is that a real word?
Humanous.
Right. But like distorted enough that it's
It's
not a
not.
human.
Yeah. It's like a giant.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I guess.
And we had talked about giants before.
Mm-hmm.
All these supposed sightings and things. I don't know.
So there's something about the Western US though, because that's where like Sasquatch is.
They can keep it.
Yes, yes. Fascinated by it. I want to see it on TikTok, but don't cross and come this way.
No.
Keep it over there.
Yes, please.
Thank
We
you.
probably have some weird, well, there is, and we will get into that in our spooky season because I have
Yes.
seen so many
Okay.
crazy things lately.
About
Shapeshifters.
oh,
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a great spooky season.
we might just turn into spooky people.
Maybe.
Maybe. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm trying to take my TikTok back. And I finally get convinced Brian, and he was like, I don't like anything. I don't share anything. I said, yeah, but you're watching the whole video. And that's what the algorithm is catching, is that you're interested or you watch it multiple times. Not a political podcast, but there was a debate last night. Who cares? Next subject. What else?
Yeah.
48-hour vibe.
So we had quickly talked about this, but our favorite intuitive therapist,
Yes.
Nichole Eaton, is having her 48-hour vibe upgrade retreat,
Yep.
which I am going to in Florida. It's the first weekend in October, and there are still some spots available. So if anybody is interested, let me know. I'll get you all the info. And I will be there, so you get to hang out with me too.
That's right. That's right.
You might see me crying.
Yeah.
You might see me like ugly cry because I'm not a pretty crier.
Not either.
But it's gonna be, I think, super, super great. You get there Friday. Friday is just like a get to know you, go out to dinner.
Mhm.
All food other than Friday is included. All
Okay, I was
meals.
going to ask, what is that covered in the price?
So Friday's the only night that like you go out anywhere.
Everything else is kind of contained.
Yes. And Saturday is the what is blocking
Mm.
you internally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's wrong with not what's wrong with
What's
you?
wrong with you?
There's a lot. But it's like all your blocks and why you're not living the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
A lot of us, me, 100%, this applies to, and you don't even realize it, either the way you grew up or whatever. You know, those little voices that like you're not good enough or
Right.
whatever. So
Right.
that's really like hitting on what your blocks are in your life. And then the following day, Sunday, is the make your life better. Like how
How we gonna
everything,
fix it?
yeah. So they're going to do some like hypnosis sessions and like all sorts of really cool stuff. I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah.
So if anybody else is interested, and this isn't just like therapy, quote unquote therapy, but
Right.
like this is to you know, it affects your relationships, your work.
Yeah.
If you have a business, it can totally affect all of that. So if you're feeling stuck in life, if you're feeling like you're just kind of not yourself,
Yeah.
this is a perfect opportunity.
Mhm.
I think they do it once or twice a year. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if they do it twice a year. So
And where is it?
it's in Orlando. And they just posted pictures of the house. It's
Nice.
so
I was going to say it's pretty private too. It's not like there's 700 people that are going to be there.
no, it's a small, very intimate group.
Mhm.
I'm not sure exactly how many people, but they keep it very
Yeah. Yeah.
small.
Yeah. That's going to be great.
Yeah. On Friday, you can opt in for a early check-in,
Mhm.
and then you get I forgot what they call it, like a early kickoff with them.
Okay.
So like an extra session.
Yeah. Did you do that?
I did.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
I know. I
So
think
I need all the help I can get. Are you
yeah,
kidding
no,
me?
I think I think you're really brave to do something like this, because I'm kind of scared on what.
I am so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of after everything that's gone on this year, one of my goals is to like really get out of my comfort zone. It's so easy to
Just to be
stay in your
comfortable. Yeah.
bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, I that's how you get stuck, I think. For me, doesn't apply for everybody. I'm just talking for myself.
Right.
But I really needed to expand
Yeah.
my horizons.
Yeah.
So totally nervous, like
Yeah.
scared to do it,
Yeah.
but I'm excited to do it.
Now, to go and have a good time and to hang out and do dinner and sit and chat, that sounds lovely. It's the digging deeper part.
Yeah,
I think we all get scared of that,
yeah.
but it is
And-
good for us to do
But
that.
even me, like just going there, like without
Yeah,
another person that I
right,
know is so far out of
right.
my comfort zone.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you. You're gonna have it's gonna be really good for you.
it's gonna be, I hope
It
so.
will be. I know it will be.
I'll be texting you like ugly, sending you ugly crying pictures.
It's Sunday and they say there's nothing they can do to fix me. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's going to be a really freeing thing. Like, of course,
I
that
hope so.
Saturday it's going to feel,
Oh, it's gonna be heavy, and
hmm
I'm sure that
yeah,
it's gonna be worse before it's better, maybe.
yes, yes,
But
yes.
we'll see.
But that, yeah, I'm proud of you. I can't wait for that.
So if anybody else is interested, let me know. We'll get you all the info. We
Yep,
just have a couple spots left, not many, but there is a couple of spots, and
awesome.
you'll get to see me.
You can see Steph. Oh, do I need to walk Rex while you're gone?
Dylan will be here.
Let's stop by for a visit.
Uh-huh. Did you see that active? Sorry, totally
Okay.
switching lanes.
Yeah.
The active shooter in Kentucky that was on the highway.
No, there's been so much this week with
Yeah.
that stuff.
So I didn't get the full story. I just saw
Okay.
this part of the story. Y'all can research the story if you want, but there was an active shooter on I-75 in
Okay.
Kentucky, like shooting at random cars.
That's seriously an episode of Criminal Minds. That seriously was an episode that happened.
There was a school bus
Oh
on the
no.
highway, and the truckers surrounded the bus to protect the
Oh,
children. So, like, amazing. Such a awesome,
that's a selfless thing to do.
awesome thing to do.
Yeah.
So, good job, truckers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
way to
Yeah.
step up and
That's
protect the
amazing.
babies.
That's amazing. Well, this week we did have the shooting in Georgia, the 14-year-old who I can't remember how many he shot, but four were killed. He was taken alive and he is in the system doing all the things that you do when you get caught. He's already had an appearance and did you see that they arrested his dad?
No.
So his dad bought him the gun and gave it to him when he already knew there was a problem. So they're charging him with
Good.
some things, and if I remember correctly, could end up being up to 180 years in jail.
Wow.
The dad for buying that, and then there's locally been some threats. Just know there were like 35 schools. I guess somebody just copied and pasted the same threat to like 4 counties, I think.
Hmm.
So there's just been a lot of stuff
And I
like
don't
that.
know if this was true or not. I just saw a comment on somebody else's
Right.
post, so I have no clue if this is legit. But somebody said that they found the person that
Mm-hmm.
posted this, and it was like a 12-year-old kid,
Mm.
like as like a quote unquote prank, but
It's not funny,
not
guy.
funny. Yeah.
Not funny.
So all those parents, I mean, I had seen so many
Oh yeah.
parents that were affected.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There were several on my Facebook feed that were like, I'm going to get so and so. I'm going to get. I don't want to ever find out what I would do in that
Yeah.
situation.
When Dylan was in elementary school still, there was a manhunt and they did a lockdown at the school,
Mm-hmm.
which we didn't find out until after,
Yeah.
which I think is fair. You
Right.
don't want all the parents running up to the school.
Well, and they're focusing on keeping everybody safe at that
Yeah.
moment. That's fine. Focus on my kid.
Yeah, 100. Keep my kids safe.
Yes.
But that was
Mm-hmm.
after the fact, not knowing that it was going on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Jackson had one in elementary school as well. It might have been the same thing. I can't remember exactly when it was, but
it probably was. I think they locked down all the schools in the
probably.
district.
And his was like one of the lockdowns where he had to like get like hidden.
Yeah.
There's different codes for that stuff. I don't know what it is, but they locked all the doors and the kids had to get in a certain spot, whatever. And I said, "Baby, were you scared? You know what?" It's like, "Mama, I just prayed. I just prayed." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Well, Dylan's teacher, they did some kind of game
Yeah.
while they were doing whatever
Mm-hmm.
hiding thing, and because he was little.
Right.
I mean, like I don't remember how old he was, but it was like second grade, maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
first grade.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine being a teacher in that
I can't
situation.
either. I can't either. Well, it's teachers sign up to teach.
Yeah.
They don't sign up to be, but I know that they do so much for the kid. I mean, those are their kids.
Yeah. I don't know what state it was in. There was a student who was just acting like an idiot. He threw a chair at the teacher, and the teacher caught it. Threw another chair at the teacher. Teacher blocked it. The third one she couldn't block,
Mm.
and it hit her eye, and she lost her eye.
Oh my gosh.
But it was like a early teenager, 13, 14,
Mm-hmm.
just acting a fool in class and didn't want to get disciplined.
Jackson had a chair thrown at him a couple years ago. So I won't tell the story. So he was in eighth grade. There was a kid in his school who had some special needs and he had uncontrollable anger. And he was a really big kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson's pretty friendly, kind of like Dylan. Everybody likes him. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they chill with this group, they're fine.
Yeah.
And he and Jackson had lunch together and had a class together. And they were in class, and I can't remember the exact situation, but something triggered the kid, and he got up and threw a chair, and it just happened to be at Jackson. And Jackson, I said, "What'd you do, bud?" He was like, "I was bobbing and weaving, Mom. I was bobbing and weaving." And it didn't hit him, thank goodness. I didn't hit anybody, and they were able to get the kid out of there. But yeah, I was like, "Bud, what? Why did he?" said, "Mama, I just sat down beside him and had lunch with him, and we were talking and having a good time. And then he did that." He said, "I know he didn't mean to, but I was just glad I had my cat-like reflexes." So yeah, it's crazy. I'm glad that nobody was hurt in that situation, but
I love that our kids are so kind-hearted
yeah,
and try to include everybody,
yeah,
and they've been like
absolutely.
that since they were little.
Yes. I'll never, ever forget. We've talked about this before, Dylan and Jackson being friends when they were little, and like they were friends, but not like best friends.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised when Dylan wanted Jackson to come to his birthday party that year. I was like, "Are you sure? Like the right?" Because there's a little age difference there,
Yeah.
and like I said, they weren't like we don't live in the same neighborhood. They
Yeah.
weren't BFFs or anything, but we had a good time.
There was a special needs kid in Dylan's class
Hmm.
all through school. I mean, like he was in the regular classes. I mean, from first grade, Dylan just
Yeah,
would always include him, everything. And the last day of school, they had it brought home their little coloring book, whatever,
yeah,
drawing books,
yeah.
and it said, "What was your favorite part about first grade?" And Dylan drew Jacob on the swing and said, "Pushing my friend Jacob on the swings."
That is so sweet.
And so I sent a picture to his mom. She's like, crying.
That is so sweet.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's really sweet. Our boys have always been sweet kids.
mhm,
Now, their BFFs, they rag them
yeah,
hard, but they're not bullies that just look for kids that, are different than them for whatever
yeah,
reason to bully them.
no,
But yeah, if you're like their ride or die, there is
yeah.
no help.
Hmm.
We stopped and picked up my friend Banthony the other day, um, and took him and his brother to school. And actually, the first day was just Banthony, and he gets in the car, and I let Jackson. He wants to have ox in the morning, so he listens to his stuff, whatever. Well, he's Banthony. He had his ear things, his wires in, and I was like, "Bud, what are you doing?" He was like, "My brother up here, his music taste is terrible." Like they were just ragging each other hard about their music. Like apparently they have different tastes in music. So stopped yesterday, picked up both of them, and "What are we listening to on the radio today, brother?" is what they said. Like they just give each other such hard about everything.
Yeah.
They've got homecoming coming up, and Jackson has decided to go, and I'm so excited.
To the dance?
Yes, I'm so happy for him. He wasn't gonna go, wasn't gonna go. And Brian and I had a big talk with him this weekend. Like, dude, if you don't want to go because you don't want to go, that's fine.
Hmm.
But if you're not going because your friends aren't going, I don't want you to, miss out and to do the things. So, he's going. He's going.
It's funny that you had said that Dylan's a junior this year
Mm-hmm.
and they are in such a small school, so they have junior, senior prom.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I can't believe I'm a junior this year." And I'm like,
Yeah.
let's not talk about it. But are you gonna go to prom? And he's like, "Yeah, well, it's just not my thing." And I'm like, experience it all.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy it while you
You only get
can.
two shots. I mean,
Like these
yeah.
are like things you're gonna miss out. Like you're gonna think back and be like, I should have done it.
Yes. You know how we sometimes talk about things Brian does that surprises us?
Yes.
Brian went to like four proms, five proms. Yeah, he was apparently the dude that was fun to take.
Is he a dancer?
Not a good one.
Does he
Take that
try?
back. Yes. And it's
But if I mean, as long as he's out there and like having fun.
no, he won't do it anymore. And I think he probably would have when he was younger, but he's not like a boogier now. But but I think he's He's easygoing. He's fun. He's handsome as can be, and so yeah, he went to a lot of proms with friends. He's
That's
engaged
our
before me.
no.
Oh, we'll have to tell that story another day. That can be on the witch episode.
Oh, ooh, I'm excited.
That tea is gonna be piping hot.
Not the tea, the cauldron.
The cauldron. Where it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Gosh, we've been talking a long time. You got a lot of editing to do, my friend.
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Are we ready for Am I the A-hole?
Yeah.
Am I the
Oh,
a-hole for laughing in my sister-in-law's face when she DNA tested my daughter? Oh, this is new too.
you're doing really good with this. You're doing much better with this than I am with my book. This is find admissions. Okay. I have 30-year-old male, have a daughter who's 6. I'm not biologically related to her at all. There is no blood relation between us. I was friends with her mother for most of my childhood. We were never involved romantically and were always just friends. She had her daughter at 23 with her 25-year-old husband. When my daughter was a newborn, about 3 months technically, both her mother and father were killed. I won't go into much detail for privacy reasons, but it was a workplace shooting. My friend and her husband had worked in the same building and both were killed. Both my friend and her husband had grown up with less than ideal families and didn't have any siblings, so there wasn't any next of kin for their daughter to go to. However, because I was close with them, I was able to adopt her. That's beautiful. Even though I had been iffy about the idea of kids, I didn't want their daughter to grow up in foster care or around people who didn't have a connection to her bio parents, so I stepped in. My parents and siblings know that my daughter is not my actual daughter, biologically speaking. My daughter, I'll call Lily for the post, also knows that she's adopted. I never really hid the fact that she was adopted. She knows her parents are dead and were killed by a bad man, but I'm saving the details for when she's older. Lily does not look like me at all. She looks exactly like her mother and biological dad. Most people assume that I'm her bio dad and that she just took after her mom. I don't ever really correct this when people assume because it just seems unnecessary. My brother has been with his fiance for about 2 years now. A few weeks ago, we were all meeting up at my parents' house, and my sister in law saw an old picture of me, my friend, and her husband. She pointed to my friend and asked who she was, and I explained that it was Lily's mother. Sister in law got quiet and stood in front of the picture for a while. I didn't think much of it. To clarify, she knows my friend died, but I guess didn't know that she had been married or that Lily is not my bio daughter. I suppose she assumed my daughter was mine and my friend's bio daughter. My sister-in-law got a DNA test done on my daughter behind my back. She used my brother's DNA for the test, and when it came back that they weren't related, she knew that meant me and Lily weren't related. She came up to me with the results and waved them in my face, saying I was just taking care of a dead woman's affair baby. She said this to me in front of my daughter. I just stared at her for a while before bursting out laughing at this. I told her I knew Lily wasn't my biological daughter and that this thing called adoption exists. Her face went red and she stormed off. Brother is mad I embarrassed his fiance, but I said she embarrassed herself by DNA testing a kid that isn't hers and then parading the results up to me. What did she want me to do? What was her goal with this? Did she want me to break down and abandon my daughter? My brother said she thought she was doing the right thing and called me an a-hole. I don't feel like the a-hole, especially considering my sister-in-law was the one who stuck her nose where it doesn't belong. I'm asking for Reddit opinions, mostly for validation. So was I the a-hole?
Oh,
He didn't do anything.
she is the a-hole.
He literally did
If
nothing.
and why would she do this in front of the kid?
Yeah. Why would she do it? Why would she do it in front of the kid? And then
And
why would you get mad when he's like, I know? That's
I
crazy.
need some background info of like the dynamic. Like, was there issues?
Well, it sounds like she doesn't really, they've been together for 2 years, but I mean, that in 2 years, something like that comes up. You know, you have a conversation, I would think,
Or the brother would say, like,
hey, just,
why didn't she question it to the brother? Because the brother could have cleared that up real quick. So she did it behind the
right.
brother's back too. But no, because well, maybe she just like took a hairbrush.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah. No, dude, you are not. You are the angel in this situation.
yes, update.
Oh, update. Okay, spoiler, my brother thought I had been having an affair with Lily's mom and thought I was Lily's bio dad. He tricked my sister-in-law into believing that I was in a relationship with Lily's mom and was Lily's bio dad. Sister-in-law then saw the picture of Lily's mom and her husband and assumed Lily was an affair child between the two of them and was being led on to believe I was Lily's bio dad.
So she should be mad at her husband.
Yeah. My sister-in-law ended up coming to my house and apologizing, as well as telling me the full story. My brother put her up to the DNA test. When I first adopted Lily, my brother, for some reason, believed that Lily was my bio daughter. He thought that me and Lily's mom were together and just weren't telling anyone. He believes that when she got pregnant, Lily's mom told me that Lily was mine and she was going to just say it was her husband's, and I was going to go along with it because I didn't really want kids. Sister in law was under the impression I believed I was Lily's bio dad. She saw the picture of Lily's mom and I, and after asking for clarification on who she was, assumed we were together in it, and then got suspicious when she saw the other guy in the picture, Lily's actual bio dad, looked a lot like Lily. I also want to clarify I didn't tell her that Lily's bio dad was in the picture because she specifically pointed to Lily's mom, and I assumed she knew Lily was adopted. I didn't know my brother had been telling her lies for nearly 2 years. She got the DNA test out of her own suspicions, and my brother helped with the kit because he thought it would reveal that I was actually Lily's bio dad. He manipulated her into thinking it would clear the air of suspicion when really he was just trying to prove that I really wasn't Lily's bio dad and lying about the reasons for adoption. Well, of course, the results proved I wasn't Lily's bio dad and that my brother was wrong. My brother felt too embarrassed to confess to his fiancee that he had lied about the circumstances, which is why my sister in law confronted me with the results. My sister in law also apologized for showing me the results in front of my daughter. Good. She told me that her mom had an affair and cheated on her father, got pregnant with another man's kid, and had let her father believe this kid was his. Her father was devastated by this when he found out, and she grew very resentful of women who do that to their spouses. She had wanted to sit me down and talk to me about it without my daughter, but when she saw me with my daughter, she got angry, thinking I was being led on to believe I was raising my daughter when I actually was raising another man's kid, and she ended up exploding and immediately waved the results in my face. My sister in law does feel very guilty, and she's angry at my brother for lying to her. I'm not angry at her for doing the test because she thought she was doing the right thing. I also forgave her for the way she told me about the results because clearly affairs are a sensitive subject to her, and I can understand why she would have exploded like that. I'm pretty sure she plans to break up with my brother now, and I don't blame her. When I called and asked my brother about this, he admitted it. When I asked why he would think this, he said that he couldn't think of a reason why a man who had been against having kids at the time would willingly adopt a baby without having a blood connection to it. He told sister in law I was Lily's bio dad and was aware of the facts. He took it a step further and said that me and Lily's mom were together at the time of Lily's conception. Both me and my parents are going low contact with my brother for a while now. I know I'll forgive my brother eventually, but I can't do that right now. He believed I was low enough to have an affair with a married woman, get her pregnant, and take no responsibility, allow her to pass the kid off as another man's, and then to only take responsibility because her mom died.
Wow. Okay, but here's my problem with the way she did it is
Mm-hmm.
if her father
Mm-hmm.
found out and was so devastated
Mm-hmm.
about this, why would she tell this man the same thing in such a horrible way
Yeah.
to scar him like her dad was scarred?
She was probably doing it more to do it in front of the kid.
I know, but like
Yeah, that's terrible. There's a lot of
issues.
well, I mean, like this is a lot of drama about this kid who he already knew wasn't his, but it is his. But he loves, like, I mean, he's obviously raising her, he's adopted her. Stay out of his business. My gosh, this man's doing a fantastically great, selfless thing, and these people are just whatever. Leave the man alone.
So she's not as much of an a-hole, but she's still an a-hole to me.
Yeah,
She's still an a-hole because of how she did it in
yeah,
front of the kid. The kid is an innocent bystander, regardless. Even if
yeah.
that was the
Right,
situation,
right. It's not the
she's
kids.
innocent.
You
Like,
can't control your parents.
yeah,
And I don't think the brother's an a-hole. I just think the brother is an idiot.
I think he's an a-hole.
I see, can he be both? An idiot and an
Yeah,
a-hole?
100%. But I think he's an a-hole for lying to the girlfriend to get the girlfriend to do like
Oh, I forgot he lied to her. What's wrong with my memory? I thought he was just stupid because that's what he thought. God, I need some, what is it that's good for your memory? Ginkgo?
galoba.
I need some of that. Do we have a ginkgo rep?
We would be happy
Yeah.
to be sponsored. No.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, keep doing you, dude. You're doing the good work.
You're not the a-hole.
No. Most of these people who write in are not. You know?
Yeah.
It's like the people that are a-holes don't have enough self-realization to realize they're
Yeah.
a-holes, so they don't want to write in. Or they don't want to be told they're an a-hole.
But I think that all these people are getting told that they are the a-hole and they need validation that they're not.
I get it. And
Yeah.
he even said that.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
But
You're not. You're good, dude. You and Lily have a great life. All right. Well, that was fun.
It was something. We've got so much fun stuff coming for
I
October.
cannot wait.
Me too.
It's gonna be so much fun.
So much fun.
Okay, cool. Well, thank y'all for sticking with us for almost 2 hours. However long you trim it down to.
My God.
I know.
Yeah, we have been recording for almost 2 hours. And if you subscribe,
Yep.
you would be able to get all of the cutout and bloopers.
Y'all don't even want to know what we talked about when
my
when
God.
Steph cut it. Like, y'all, I had no idea. Okay,
We
so
talked about my college years.
yes, and I say that no judgment. I had no idea.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
anywho, that will get cut out either way.
Well, still amazing to hear. But you guys need to review us if you've not. Give us 5 stars.
Please do. And then like, subscribe,
Yep.
do all the things,
Yep.
tell a friend, and we will talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Love y'all.
Love you. Bye.